I spent a few months looking at what it actually takes to get hired as an AI engineer in 2026. I went through hundreds of job postings, looked at what real candidates were doing wrong, and mapped out exactly what works. Most people who try to get into this field spend months studying the wrong things. The issue is not the difficulty, but that they never had a clear starting point. In this video, I am giving you that starting point. AI engineers are earning anywhere from $130,000 to $300,000, and that doesn't include equity. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to learn to get there. The skills, the order, and the timeline. Let's get into it. There is something almost everyone gets wrong about what an AI engineer actually does, and it changes everything about how you prepare for this career. So an AI engineer builds products using AI models. That is the simplest way to say it, because you are not a researcher training models from scratch in a lab. You are not a data scientist running analysis on spreadsheets. You are the person who takes AI models that already exist, like ChatGPT, Claude, and Llama, and uses them to build real products that real people use. Here is what the work looks like on a normal day. You write code that connects to AI systems through something called an API, which is basically a bridge that lets your code talk to the AI. You design the instructions that tell the AI how to behave inside your specific product. You build the systems that connect the AI to your company's own data, so it can answer questions about things it was not originally trained on. And you make sure all of that works properly when real users are using it every day. Think about the AI assistant you see on almost every big company website now. You type a question about their product and it gives you a real specific answer instead of a list of help articles. An AI engineer built that. Think about the customer service chatbot at a software company that can actually fix your problem without sending you to a human. An AI engineer built that. Or think about the tool a law firm uses that can read a 200-page contract and mark every risky section before a lawyer has to touch it. Again, that is built by an AI engineer. This matters because a lot of people think this job needs a math degree or 10 years of coding experience before you can even start. It does not. What it needs is a specific set of skills, learned in the right order. And right now, the companies building these products need people with those skills. So what are those skills, and in what order do you build them? There are 3 layers to becoming a hireable AI engineer. You build them in order, and each one makes the next possible. The first layer is the foundation. This covers Python, basic statistics, APIs, and understanding how large language models work. For Python, the expectation is not to write perfect code like a senior developer. You just need to be able to write a script, run it, and fix it when something doesn't work. You need to call an API and do something useful with what comes back. Most AI engineering work is not advanced software development. It is building things quickly and improving them fast, and Python is the tool that makes that possible. Statistics means understanding things like averages, probability, and what a confidence score actually tells you. When an AI model gives you an answer, it is making a prediction based on probability. It is picking the most likely next word based on everything it has seen. When you are comparing 2 versions of your AI product to see which one works better, you need to be able to measure that properly. You do not need a statistics degree. You just need enough to look at model results and understand what the numbers mean. APIs are how everything in this field works. Knowing how to authenticate, make requests, handle errors, and process what comes back is not optional. It is how the whole job operates. Understanding how large language models work means knowing at a basic level what happens when you give a model a prompt. These models do not read text like humans do. They break text into small pieces called tokens, which are usually a word or part of a word. They look at the relationships between all the tokens and use that to predict the most likely next token in the response. They can only read a certain amount of text at one time called the context window. You do not need to understand the math behind this. You need to understand it well enough to know why a prompt works, why a different one fails, and how to fix it. The second layer is the core stack. This is where most of the actual job skills live. Prompt engineering is the skill of writing instructions that get reliable results from a model every time. You learn how to write a system prompt that controls how the model behaves, and how to guide the model through a difficult task step by step. And you learn how to get structured outputs, like a list, instead of just free text. Good prompt engineering is what separates AI products that work well from ones that don't. LangChain is the framework most teams use to build AI systems. Instead of code that just calls one AI model once, LangChain lets you build systems where the AI can use other tools, like searching a database or running a calculation, and chain multiple steps together automatically. Most real AI products are built this way. Vector databases are tools like Pinecone, Chroma, or Weaviate. They store documents as numbers that represent their meaning, which are called embeddings. It is also the foundation of RAG. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. It is the method that lets an AI work with a company's own private information instead of just what the model was trained on. Let's say you take a company's documents, their policies, policies, their product catalog, their internal knowledge base, and you convert them all into processes and store them in a vector database. When a user asks a question, the system finds the most similar documents from that database and sends them to the model as extra context. The model uses that context to give a specific, accurate answer. This is how most enterprise AI tools work. If a company has an internal chatbot that knows their specific processes or products, it is almost certainly built on RAG. The third layer is advanced capabilities. Fine-tuning is basically taking an existing model and training it further using your own data. The model learns the specific language and patterns of your field through extra training. A healthcare company might fine-tune a model on medical notes so it understands medical terms correctly. A legal firm might fine-tune one on contracts. This is different from RAG because instead of giving the model documents at the time of each question, you train the knowledge directly into the model itself. AI agents are systems that can act on their own across multiple steps. Using frameworks like Crew AI, you build agents that have a goal, access to tools like web search or code execution, and the ability to plan what to do next without a human directing each step. They figure out how to complete the task themselves. AWS SageMaker is where you take everything you have built and install it to actually run in the real world, where it's available in the cloud all the time, handling real users at scale, with monitoring so you can catch problems early. Foundation to core stack to advanced capabilities. That is the full map. The instinct most people have is to Google all of these topics and try to piece it together from YouTube tutorials. A lot of people try this. Most of them stop around month 5 or 6, not because the material is too hard, but because there is no structure telling them what to learn next, and there are no real projects being built, so they have nothing to show when they start applying. The people who break into this role fast are almost always the ones who followed a structured path from the beginning. There is a specific platform I would use if I were starting this today. That is what the next part is about. The platform I would use if I were starting this from scratch right now is Zero to Mastery. What makes it different from a single course is that it is a full structured career path. It is designed to take you from no background at all to building and deploying real AI systems in the right order with no lack of information. It covers everything in the roadmap we just walked through. Python, machine learning basics, deep learning, how language models work, LangChain, RAG, vector databases, fine-tuning on AWS SageMaker, all of it. Each course builds directly on the one before it, so you always know what to do next. What matters most when you apply for jobs is not your certificate, it is your GitHub. Hiring managers want to see real code. They want to see that you have built something that works. And Zero to Mastery's AI and machine learning engineer path is built around projects at every stage. By the time you finish, you do not just have a certificate, you have a portfolio of real AI systems that you can open in an interview and walk a hiring manager through step by step. More than 1 million students have gone through Zero to Mastery. Graduates now work at Google, Amazon, Meta, Apple, Tesla, OpenAI, and NVIDIA. Here's the financial reality. The subscription is $49 a month, and the average starting salary for an AI engineer is $150,000. If this platform gets you hired 6 months faster than figuring it out on your own, that $49 a month is one of the best investments you will ever make in your career. The first month is fully risk-free because there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. I have also put the link in the description for you, and that is the path I would take if I were starting out to be an AI engineer. But having the skills is only part of getting hired. There is one more thing that most people completely underestimate, and it is the thing that actually gets you the interview. A lot of people finish a full curriculum and still do not get callbacks. This is almost always the reason, because hiring managers do not look at your certificate first. They want to see on your GitHub that you have actually built things, not just watched courses. Every interview you get will include some version of this question. Walk me through something you have built. If you cannot answer that with a real project, something you can open on screen, explain the decisions behind, and describe what broke and how you fixed it, the interview is usually over right there. A certificate says you completed a course. A real project on GitHub says you can do the job. The 3 projects that make the biggest difference in 2026 interviews are these. First, a RAG-powered chatbot that works with a custom set of documents. This shows the hiring manager that you understand embeddings, vector search, and how to connect an AI to real information that is not in its training data. Every company building an internal AI tool right now is using this approach. When a hiring manager sees this project, they can immediately picture what you would build for their team. And second is a fine-tuned model trained on a specific domain. This shows that you understand the training process, can work with a real data set, and know how to measure whether the model actually improved. Healthcare, legal, and finance companies are all looking for people who can do this. It also shows you understand AI at a deeper level than just connecting to an API. Which brings us to the third project, which is an AI agent that automates a multi-step workflow. This is the most impressive project right now because it shows you can build a system that works on its own. One that takes a goal, figures out the steps to get there, uses tools to complete those steps, and handles when something goes wrong. Independent agents are what most companies are trying to build next, and very few candidates can show they have already built one. These 3 projects on your GitHub, built well and explained clearly in the documentation, will get you interviews at companies you did not expect to hear from. Now let me give you the honest timeline so you know exactly what you are committing to. Here is what this actually looks like if you put in 10 to 15 hours a week without any made-up promises. Months 1 to 4 are the foundation phase. You are learning Python, understanding how language models work, and getting comfortable with APIs. The benchmark for finishing this phase is simple. You should be able to write a script from scratch that calls the OpenAI API, does something with the response, and works consistently. Not a finished product, just working code that does something real. If you can do that without looking it up, you are ready for the next layer. Months 5 through 7 are the core stack. LangChain, RAG, vector databases, agents. This is when the work starts to feel like actual AI engineering. The benchmark here is a working RAG system, one that you built yourself, connected to a real data set that you understand completely and can explain to someone else in plain language. By month 7, that project should be on your GitHub. Months 8 and 9 are portfolio and applications. You finish your 3 projects, write clear documentation for each one, and start applying. This is also when you practice for interviews. You practice talking through your projects, explaining your decisions, and answering technical questions about the code you wrote. 9 months from nothing to interview ready. That is the real number. And for a job that starts at $130,000 a year, 9 months is a small amount of time to invest. The timing also matters right now. AI engineering job postings are up 41.8% since 2024. The people who start today will have a finished portfolio and real experience by the time that growth levels off and competition gets harder. The people who wait will be entering a more competitive field with no head start. The path is clearer than most people think. If you want a structured path through all of this, with real projects and a community behind you, the link to Zero to Mastery is in the description. The first month is risk-free. The next question most people have is which AI certifications are actually worth getting. I covered that in this video right here, so you can go watch it next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.